How's it going? Dave from Comic Book Investment. Well, today I'm going to do something a little different. Today I'm going to make a video about the top 10 record-breaking sales. So there's be all graded books that have broken the previous records, and I'll show you how long ago those records were, and then also how much they broke them by. So let's get into the video right away. First up, we got Batman Beyond #1. And you're probably wondering why there's Carnage back there. That's a little secret, and we'll find out towards the end. So we got Batman Beyond #1 for a 9.8 back in April of 2021. It had a high of 2,716. This past month in September, it broke it at 3,000. That is about a 10% increase from the time before. And obviously this first appearance of Batman Beyond, he later, from the TV show, the cartoon, and he's going to be in an upcoming Batman something. Not sure exactly what. Probably TV show, movie, all sorts of stuff. All right, #9. We got Captain America 6. This is the first appearance of the Winter Soldier. This is the variant cover, and a signed 9.8 copy sold for $3,575, and the previous sale was in March of 2021 for a signed copy. So that is up 97%. This signed copy was signed by Stan Lee, and I found that actually kind of interesting since the fact that, this book has been going down quite a bit. So that's pretty interesting. All right, #8. We got Amazing Spider-Man 678. This is the Venom variant. And a 9.2 just sold for $1,600. And the previous high for a 9.2 was $1,537, and that was back in June of 2017. So that was a 4% increase over basically 4 years. Not the best, but it's also showing that this book isn't really going down. It's been higher at the higher grade range, like 9.4, 9.6, and everything like that. So, yeah, now moving on to #7. We got Marvel Spotlight 5. This is the first appearance of Ghost Rider. I have a picture of Galactus there. I thought it was cool about it. It has nothing to do with Ghost Rider. A CGC 6.0 sold for $2,425 this month, and a few months ago in July, it had a record sale of $2,400. That is up 4%. So not too much of a big jump, but it's nice to see that this one's still holding on its value from its previous highs. All right, #6. We got Hero Trade #1. Now, a 9.4 just sold for $1,500. There's no record of another 9.4 selling. I saw a 9.6 sell for $1,600. So this is actually, just slightly under that. So that's a pretty good deal. Can't really change the percentage. I thought this was interesting that a 9.4 actually sold for $1,500 of this book. All right, #5. We got the second printing of Raphael #1 and a 9.8 back in May of 2021, which was actually, I think, mine. I think that was mine. Sold for $14.99. A 9.8 just sold for $2,500, so up 67%. So if I would have just held on to that book, because I know I had a 9.8 of this book, and I sold it probably around then. If I would have held on to it, I would have made an extra 67%. Well, I always like this kind of cover. It has Raphael with a machine gun. That's kind of cool. So #4, Incredible Hulk #181, a CGC 5.5 back in earlier this month, last month, sold for $6,000. Just recently, sold for $63.25, and that is up 5% from basically about a full month, which is kind of crazy that this book is still going up. I'm glad I kept all my copies. I told everyone to get this book, and it'll still continue to go up. It's just crazy how much demand there is for this. All right, #3. We got House of Secrets 92. This, of course, is the first appearance of Swamp Thing. You can see him there in the back of the cover. This book is actually really hard to get in like a high grade, like a 9.8. It's, for some reason, it's just the way the cover is. It didn't last the test of time. All right, back in September, pretty much exactly, 7 years ago, back in September of 2014, The record high for 9.8 was 14,500. One just sold for 90,000. That is up 521%. That is crazy. Now, there have been ones that have sold in between the record high and the current record high, but they were lower. Like, I think a few years after this, one sold for 14,000, but I'm talking record to record. Here it goes. 90,000. Wow, that's crazy. All right, moving on, number 2. We got Tales of Suspense 39. This is the first appearance of Iron Man. And a CGC 9.2 sold back in September 2011 for $72,100. And it pretty much exactly 10 years later has sold for $144,000. And that is up pretty much 100%. Pretty much doubling exactly 10 years later, which is still really, really good. Even though it doesn't seem that well compared to other ones, but you also have to think about the dollar amount as well. This is $144,000. It went up $70,000. Yeah, it would have been better to buy maybe a bunch of the other books, but this is one book getting you, basically $72,000. All right, on to the number 1 spot. If you haven't subscribed already, please think about subscribing. Only about 50% of people that watch my channel are subscribed. It just helps you, when my next video pops up. All right, number 1, and now you'll understand why Carnage is in the background. Amazing Spider-Man 361, first appearance of Carnage. A signed copy, that's with the SS there, signature series. A 9.8 sold for $4,000. And the previous high was $3,000 for the same signature, and that is up. And that was back in May, so maybe like 5 months or so, and that is up 33%. I found this the most interesting because Spider-Man 361 has been going down lately. I talked about it in books that were going down months ago, and it's still heading down, and I still think it'll continue to go down a little bit more. It's leveled off a little bit, but not enough. So, all right, let me know what you think about this little series. I could probably, I kind of like doing it to see, what's been breaking records and things like that. I'll probably still mess with the format a little bit. Maybe, this one I just kind of picked the number 1 spot as something I found most interesting. Maybe I'll do the top 10 by percentage change, or maybe dollar amount spent. I'll think about that. Which one would you prefer? Would you want the number 1 spot to be the most expensive, or would you want the number 1 spot to be the most percentage? But again, that's hard with percentage, because then you could buy a book for like, $10, and then all of a sudden, it shoots up to $1,000, and that's a massive percentage increase, but in terms of dollar amount, not as high as something like the Tales of Suspense or something like that. So I'll probably just go what kind of stands out to me in general, and probably like dollar amount, and see these big record sales. It's good to see these record sales that are happening, because it kind of tells you where the market is going. Like that Swamp Thing, basically it took 10 years, but it broke the record, so that's good. And broke it by a lot. That's another thing, is some of these books don't come up that often, like a 9.8, so it just totally shattered the record by quite a bit. It's much more interesting when you see books that have been, many years in the past. All right, well, anyways, have a great rest of the night.